Okay, friends, it's been a while since I filmed. Hi. I wanted to show you what I am doing with my moringa and other things that I have put away. Swiss chard here. And I have several jars of moringa that I put up. And I've worked through a lot of these, but these are the ones from last year, so I want to get them made into a powder. I was running out of powder and because I use that stuff in everything. So what I've done here is I've put down some silicone mats because there's going to be a mess everywhere, as you can see. And I have my herb grinder here. And then I've got a little system going here where I am sifting my powder because I want the finest powder for my moringa. And then I also am doing a mixed green here. You can see the different layers. And I will also add in this Swiss chard there and kind of shake that up. And that's good in soups and to add flavor to casseroles, almost anything. But for now, I'm working on this moringa. I want to get this all powdered up, or at least this next jar of it, and get me another working jar of moringa powder here. So what we do is we dump the moringa, and my hands are clean. I just got through cleaning them, and they're dry. So we dump this is, if you watched one of my earlier videos, one of my first videos actually, I dried a lot of moringa naturally. It was before I did a dehydrator. And so I dried these naturally, just let them dry out in a spare room for a couple of weeks, and then I just crammed them down in here. These, you can see I started crushing up, and these I just sort of crammed in the jar because I was getting tired of it. This is my third jar that I'm working through now. I'm refilling my moringa. So I put those in the herb grinder, and we want this to go for about, I don't know, 15 or 20 seconds. You'll start to see powder forming up here. It's powder coming out here, so I know I'm good to go. Because I could wait and let it settle, but I'm gonna have this green powder all over. I can already see it all over my everything here. So I want to dump this into my sifter, and just for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to show you what I'm doing here. But I obviously would not do this every single time because there's only a tiny bit in there. I usually grind 2 or 3 of those up, so I have enough really here to sift. But you sift it because you're going to end up with a little bit of leftover, leaves, which is fine. They can still be used. Now, the good news is I am using these in my animal food that I make. So these jars do not have the same size as the top of a mason jar. So they're a little bit smaller. So I can't put this cone on there. So I just put this little one, which is good. And just to make sure that I don't spill anything, I put the bigger one on top of it just to kind of make sure it all goes in there. So then shake that in. And what I'll do is I'll pour hot water in this and I'll rehydrate it, and it will become part of the vegetable mix that I give to my animals. And it looks like I'm almost full here with my jar of moringa, so I'm not going to keep showing you every bit of the process. You kind of get it now, but yeah, that's how I make my moringa powder that I use. And then I will add to this that I added chard in here, Swiss chard. This is just basically what I call green powder. And same thing, I use it in soups and all that kind of stuff. And it just adds an extra little kind of umami flavor. It's really good in ramen noodles and things like that. So yeah, that's what I use that for. It's just a mixture of moringa and what did I have here? Moringa, celery, kale, and it's gonna have some Swiss chard in there. And that is how you make moringa powder at home. I've moved back to my Swiss chard now. I'm grinding it up. And I'm going to add it to this other jar that you can see it's significantly darker. I'm gonna add it to this other jar of mixed greens to just add some extra nutrition, and we don't want things to go bad, so I want this out of my cabinet. Inside of here, I don't know if you can see it, there's like a little one of those little silica packs to keep it dry. You can hear this has quite a bit more stems in it. It grinds up pretty tiny though, so that's going to be a good powder. We just don't want the stems in there, because if you put that in your soup, you know, it's going to taste funky. And then here, again, you'll see one of my little silica packets. I use the dry and dry. Oh, dry and dry. And these are 1 gram, I believe, for this size of a jar. And see, I got a full another jar, so I've got 2 full jars of the Moringa powder here, which lasts me about a year. So I've got quite a bit there. I'll vacuum seal this one and put it in the pantry just so it'll stay fresh longer, but it has a silica pack in the bottom of it to keep it dry. I'll vacuum seal all of these that I'm not using right away, but I do use my Moringa, my green mix and my Moringa powder quite a bit, because I cook a lot. So, and I add it to my animals' feed as well to give them an extra healthy boost. As you can see, nothing goes to waste. I use this, the stems and all that here. This powder doesn't have to be quite as fine, because it does usually go in soups and stuff, but you don't want to grind it too much, because then you'll start just making it have little flakes of that in there. So we're going to shake that out of there. And you can see that Swiss chard added quite a dark green color to it. So I will put the lid back on there and give it a good shake so it stays all nice and look, a beautiful mix there. And just we'll add chard to it, and we'll know that's our green powder. It stays up here in the cabinet close to the stove for cooking. And then I'm going to finish up my little animal feed situation here. So I just dump that mess in there. And I will also go ahead and dump this mat in here with whatever little bit of extra yummy stuff gets in there. And then usually, because this is for the animals, and I started out with a clean countertop. Well, I don't know what that is actually. I started out with a clean countertop, but you'll see I'll have to move all this stuff and wipe it, because even back here behind my mats, you'll see my fingers have that dust all over them. So I'll have to wipe this whole area down, probably my whole kitchen. I'll have to wipe it down again to get all this green powder off. But we want to get all this yummy goodness into the animals' food. And then what I'll do with this, just FYI, I just put boiling water in here, close the lid on it, stick it in the fridge till whenever I get to making their chow the next time. And then I mix it in with other vegetables or scraps of vegetables, and like a protein source like a dog food or cat food gets mixed into it. I feed it to my chickens. I feed it to some of my wildlife. So that's just what that is. Nothing goes to waste. Thanks for checking out my video. If you liked it, like it and thumbs up, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff. I do have a lot of videos that I have not uploaded yet. This is kind of a what do you do with that stuff leftover kind of video from a year ago when I did my moringa. And so anyway, like, subscribe, share, and best of wishes to you in your homesteading journey. Bye.